Hey everyone, I'm JK with 1732 Streaming. You can follow us on Rumble at 1732 Streaming. You can follow us on Twitch, JK1732A, and you can follow us on YouTube at 1732 Streaming. Today I am posing the question, is it okay to lose your job for what you post? As you know right now, due to the Charlie Kirk assassination, there are lots of people out there that have lost their jobs for posting what they put online. So, my question to you is, do you feel that is okay? Does that violate freedom of speech? Well, I'll give you my take on it. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the news in case anything breaking comes up, we can talk about it. Um, so my take on that is no, I don't think it's wrong. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. And there is a huge difference in the way that we talk online, being the right and or conservatives, and the way that they talk online, being the left. And I can give you an example that happened actually just last night. I was scrolling through Facebook, looking at one of my friends. I wasn't looking for anybody or looking, for anybody saying bad things about Charlie Kirk. I just happened to quite literally run across it. And the quote said, they were obviously talking about Charlie Kirk, and it said, prayers, thoughts and prayers for Tyler Robinson, good aim. Um, to me, that's obviously advocating for violence, and I feel like my employer should step in and do something about that. Now, I have no control over that, and what they decide is totally up to them. I went ahead and reported it and sent it to them to review and do what they wish to do with it. And I do believe that if I were to say something like that, let's flip the script a little bit. Let's say that I was online. I am a conservative, and let's just say that a former president, let's say Joe Biden was assassinated, and I would never advocate for violence. Let me be clear about that right now. That is absolutely not the way to go. And let's say that he was assassinated, and let's say that I took that quote and I put thoughts and prayers, John Smith, good aim. Obviously John Smith being a fictitious character I just made up, and somebody sent that to my human resources department, I would fully expect to be pulled into that office and not have a job the very next day. At the very least, some sort of severe warning, probation, or something like that, but I would fully expect to lose my job. So, my question to you is, do you think that because this was a conservative that was shot, you know, is it going to be taken as seriously if it was a liberal that was shot? Um, I have my personal thoughts on that. If we go back, 3 or 4 years, I don't think that if Charlie Kirk's assassination were to take place then and people were putting stuff online and saying these horrible things, I don't believe that they would lose their jobs. I believe President Trump is actually the one that's kind of, along with people like Charlie Kirk, have started to change and really bring out what's right and wrong. And you see there in the bottom right hand corner, you can see it looks like President Trump is visiting there in the UK, visiting, I guess, the royal family. Um, but yeah, give me your thoughts on that, guys. And give me a like and follow if you don't mind. It really helps out. I really want to try to get this going, and I really do want to engage with you guys. But yeah, give me a like and follow and drop a comment, man. I really want to hear what y'all think about this. The reality, and I don't think it's even my opinion. The reality is um, I don't think that we would have had this big of a situation just a couple of years ago with Joe Biden as president as we do now. Obviously, the conservatives have taken power, and with that, I believe is coming accountability that the left is not used to. If you go back a couple of years and you said something about transgenders, if you said it was is wrong or something like that, and somebody reported you to your employer, you probably would have gotten fired, at the very least some form of corrective action write up or something like that. Um, and now, obviously, with the conservative being president, that seems to have changed. And I believe in a good way. I believe people are starting to find their voice, and I think this country is starting to really see what's right and wrong again. Will that continue? I don't know. I certainly hope so. Freedom of speech is not freedom of consequences. If you say something online, you're allowed to say something online. You're covered by the Constitution. But your employer also has the right to say you don't work here anymore because that represents the company in a poor manner. Um, so, that's what I believe. So drop some comments. I got the chat open right now. And if you happen to go back and watch this video, drop comments and I'll get back to you and I'll try to bring them up in the next stream that I do. Sorry, I'm inconsistent with streams. Like I said, I'm a first responder, so I have a rotating schedule. I can't always get on here and talk to you guys. So just let's go over a couple of developments here over the last few days with the Charlie Kirk assassination. Obviously it has come out now. I know if you went on social media, everybody was saying, "Oh, look, it's a white, straight Republican." Well, that's wrong. And, obviously that came out here recently that, he was living with his transgender, furry boyfriend transitioning to female, which I personally don't think you can do. You're born a male, no matter how much you dress up or how much you mutilate your body, you are still a male. Might just become a very ugly one at that point. So sorry, to me, that's the truth. And I think that it is the truth. So I think that's really shut down, that narrative. And I've even gone online and some of those people that have made those posts, I've even responded with, I await your retraction. And then I post the article with the facts about this individual. Obviously, Utah, I believe their attorney came out in Utah and said that they are going to be seeking the death penalty based on the evidence that they have found. I am in full support of that. I do believe Utah has the firing squad still. I believe that would be justice, in my humble opinion. And some of the evidence that they have found was his fingerprints and DNA on the rifle that was found, which used to belong to his grandfather hunting rifle. We all know now that it's a bolt action 30-06. So, and yeah, so they're seeking a death penalty. And I guess the question now becomes, are the feds going to step in and charge him with a federal crime? I've listened to some commentators and they don't, some they're split down the middle. Some think it should, the Fed should step in, and some think they shouldn't because the penalty in Utah found guilty as death. Why would you have the government step in and possibly muddy up the situation? I agree with that. I do. If he's given the death penalty, I don't think it really matters at that point whether it becomes a federal crime or not. But I can see the argument, where they want to come out and the feds can come out and say, it was a violation of his constitutional amendment, that it was political violence and stuff like that. So I do see both sides. However, I feel that anytime the government steps in, it can get kind of muddy and unfortunately can mess things up, because I don't think that the government is quite cleaned up all the way yet. So, and it probably won't be for a long time. So I hate to leave anything to chance where this individual could not receive the death penalty and end up with just life in prison, or God forbid, let out for being criminally insane and put in a nice comfy institution or something like that. So again, if you have any thoughts on that, drop some comments. I'd be happy to talk to you. I don't care on what side of the aisle you are. I'd like to talk to both of you. So yeah, that's kind of my update right now. I know it's not a very long update. And here in a little bit, I'll be doing a Fortnite stream. My brother might be joining me. So yeah, follow us, same channels, 1732 streaming on Rumble, JK1732A on Twitch, and at 1732 streaming on YouTube. Of course, the videos will be loaded later up to YouTube. If I happen to ever get followers to do live streams, I'll do it. What do you guys think about me eventually maybe doing X? And are there are there other platforms that I should be looking at? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about that. Like I said, I'm really trying to bolster my viewership right now. Typically, when I release a video, I'm getting, if I'm lucky, 50 views. One of my videos, whether it's gaming or this right here. So yeah, drop a comment. I really want to bolster this, but yeah, drop comments for me, guys, and I'll get back to you. And also, again, like and follow. That really helps creators out like me. And what should I be talking about? What is the next topic that you would like to hear about? Right now, I'm just kind of winging it. Like I said in one of my earlier streams, I'm just an average guy. I am not a political commentator. I'm a first responder. And that's all I do. That's what I know the best. And if you want to hear more about that, I'd be happy to tell you. I will not tell you where I work because I do not have their permission, nor am I seeking their permission to mention their name or anything like that. But if you want to talk about the first responders and the challenges they face every day, I am absolutely happy to speak about that. Particularly EMS, that is my specialty. I've been doing that for 22 years. And also my brother's been doing it for 22, 23 years as well. So maybe we can get him on one of these streams if you guys want to talk about that. But yeah, and also if you happen to watch any of these committee hearings with Kash Patel, I think he is absolutely beating the snot out of these guys, the ones that are challenging him. They've obviously lost. I think they're starting to lose their voice. The left is starting to lose their voice. They have no credibility with anybody anymore, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. But yeah, he's got some good responses. And, the problem with leftists is they don't argue with facts. They only argue with feelings. If you present facts to them, they shut down, they scream, they holler, or, whatever the case may be. And obviously, in a couple circumstances here, you see violence. So, the discussion platform has been opened. Let's go. I want to talk. And if you're on the left, I want to talk to you too. But I want you to come to me with a civil conversation and facts as you see them. I want you to put your feelings aside. That's something that conservatives are very good at, is we put our feelings aside and we speak the facts as we know them. I want you to do the same. And, bring it to me. As Steven Crowder would say on Louder with Crowder, change my mind. I challenge you to do so. Send me a topic in the comments you want to talk about, and I'll address them on stream. And and I'll be happy to chat with you live on stream or anything like that. So, but yeah, so everybody, I want you guys to have a good day. Don't forget to follow me at 1732 Streaming on Rumble, JK1732A on Twitch, and at 1732 Streaming on YouTube. And you guys keep your head on a swivel, stay safe, and I will catch you guys in a little bit on my gaming stream. And I think it's going to be Fortnite, maybe some Halo. Maybe, but definitely going to do some Fortnite with my brother. All right, guys, you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later.